joining us. I'm Anna Botari. The city manager's coalition against bias and hate makes Saturday's 2 mass shootings the main agenda item for their monthly meeting Wednesday. And for one Worcester resident, being Latino has become more worrisome following the events in El Paso. Our Cam Jandro joins us now live with more. Cam?
Anna, Herman Chiriboga says unfortunately mass shootings have become almost normal in the United States. Speaking in front of the coalition today, quite simply, he says something needs to be fixed.
As a Hispanic Jew, I'm scared twice, from this shooting.
Herman Chiriboga once lived in Ecuador. News of the mass shooting in El Paso over the weekend hit home for the Worcester resident.
As a Latino, that's a little bit worrisome because, thinking about El Paso, it was a very targeted attack.
Chiriboga was one of many discussing the recent shootings at a meeting for the city manager's coalition against bias and hate. Among the topics Wednesday, the debate surrounding the Second Amendment.
It's, one's right to have guns, right? But there's got to be a limit someplace. And the guns that are being used are the AR-15s, the AK-47s.
More than 20 people were killed in El Paso Saturday. And while Worcester is nowhere near the location, speakers Wednesday emphasized it can happen anywhere.
We're not free from that happening. I'm sure the chances are very low here in Massachusetts, and it's not an invitation to live in fear, but it is a conversation of all.
Now, the coalition says they're looking to have continued conversations with the public as well as city officials to discuss preventative measures, so nothing like this ever happens in the city of Worcester. In the studio tonight, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
State police pulled a Worcester man over this week for a suspended license and discovered he was in possession of narcotics. State police say 39-year-old Jason Reyes had 14 bags containing a white substance which appeared to be cocaine and 15 bags believed to contain marijuana. Reyes is charged with possession of Class B and D with intent to distribute and operating with a suspended license. Auburn firefighters responded to a call over the weekend. They thought they'd be transporting a pregnant woman to the hospital to have her baby. While they did get her to the hospital, they ended up delivering the child. Jennifer Carney holds her healthy newborn son. She says her delivery Sunday wasn't exactly the way she had planned.
Water broke at 10 minutes of 10. And on the ride in the ambulance, he was born at 11:02 in the parking lot.
Carney says it was even more of a surprise because baby Drew wasn't due for another 5 weeks. 3 members from the Auburn Fire Department who responded to the 911 call delivered the baby in the parking lot of UMass Memorial Medical Center.
It went smooth. We warmed the baby, cut the umbilical cord, put it to skin like we're taught to do, and we're like, tell the ER staff that the baby is here, and the baby let out a cry, and we just like a big exhale because it was like, the baby's healthy.
This was the first delivery for these first responders. They say they've gone through training for situations like this, but say to actually experience a labor in the field was incredible.
It's really nice because we don't always see the positive side of things in our field, and it was just really nice having, a life come into the world.
It's a great feeling. Like I said, everything went great. Mom was great. Baby was great. It was just a good day.
Carney says she's grateful for the first responders' quick action and the care she's receiving at UMass Memorial Medical Center.
After such a traumatic delivery, it's been a huge help.
The Auburn firefighters have told Carney as soon as baby Drew is ready, they'd like to reunite at the fire station. The Worcester County House of Corrections is reviewing their security measures after an inmate walked off the property. They say he was found 12 hours later, but wants to be sure something like this doesn't ever happen again. Our Gretchen LaRosa has those details.
An inmate from the Worcester County Jail and House of Correction walked away from an outside work detail Tuesday morning. He had been involved in the work release program. Superintendent David Tuttle says being a part of the program is a luxury for select inmates.
There are inmates that are getting ready. We're preparing them for release, and these are rehabilitative programs that they can participate in to help them turn their lives around and maybe get some work experience. And it was obviously this inmate quite wasn't ready for that yet.
The inmate was able to escape through a wooded area outside the jail. Tuttle says there are 3 officers to every 5 inmates when they are farming. He says anyone with violent or serious offenses are not considered for the job.
Because of his past, he wasn't an inmate that was known to be violent or that we had to have a concern in the neighborhood for. We would not allow one of those inmates to be in this program.
The inmate is in jail for breaking and entering and minor drug offenses. Because of the escape, he'll now face additional charges.
This gentleman now is going to be charged with escape, and he'll face more time in prison, and he won't, in going forward, he'll never have the opportunity to work out here again.
Southborough police are asking for the public's help by identifying 2 masked robbers. Surveillance video shows the suspects crawling around inside Sperry's liquor, trying to avoid being seen by cameras. Police say they responded around 8:30 in the morning on July 29th. The video shows the robbers in the store 4 hours earlier carrying dark bags. Police say they stole a large amount of cigarettes and liquor and may be responsible for similar crimes in Millbury and Northborough. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. Citing challenging economic conditions, the Red Cross is tentatively stopping its mobile blood drive operations in central and western Massachusetts. The Red Cross says they want to ensure long-term sustainability. They say consolidating their operations will help deliver, quote, cost-effective and reliable products and services for patients in need. The Red Cross will continue to collect blood and platelet donations at donation centers in Springfield and Worcester. National Purple Heart Day commemorates the creation of the oldest American military decoration for military merit. The Purple Heart honors military heroes who either wounded on the battlefield or made the ultimate sacrifice. In Worcester, Veterans Inc. says there are several veterans who have received the merit. Our Brittany Schaefer has more.
This is actually shrapnel from the explosion.
Alex Arriaga was awarded a Purple Heart while in Iraq when he was about 23 years old. He says it's hard to recount the day he almost lost his life.
I docked, the rocket landed, and the explosion was in front of me. It kind of pushed me back. Things were like slow motion. I felt real loud ring in my ears. When I took the boonie cap I was wearing off, blood just started coming down.
Arriaga's head was cut open from a piece of scrap metal during the explosion. He says he was at a detainment facility where there wasn't supposed to be any combat.
It was supposed to be a lot safer, and we didn't wear any protective gear. You may be in a quote-unquote safe place, but you're still in very much real danger, no matter where you are.
Arriaga made it out of the facility with his 2 fellow soldiers holding him up. He says luckily no one else was hurt in the attack. Days later, he received the nation's oldest military award, the Purple Heart.
This is really a huge honor that many people that receive it actually don't come back, so I felt really fortunate that I was still alive.
Arriaga now works at Veterans Inc. On National Purple Heart Day, his colleague Aaron Stelmack says it's important to pause and remember the sacrifices veterans make.
We owe Alex and every Purple Heart recipient a debt of gratitude, as well as every man and woman that has served or is currently serving our country, because they are truly America's bravest.
Today, we should honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice, and keep in mind that those that have it still to this day suffer from some of those same issues that were hunting them then and are continuing to hunt them now.
Arriaga says he is still feeling the effects of his injuries. He suffers from migraines and memory issues from his head injury. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The Worcester Senior Center commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Woodstock Music Festival. The musical band Throwback to the 60s performed songs for seniors. The band is set to play in Bethel, New York for the Woodstock commemoration. Many in the crowd wore tie-dye shirts they made last week to celebrate.
This is one of the best events we've had here at the Worcester Senior Center, because everyone was really engaged and we attracted baby boomers to come as well.
The singing nurse Shirley McAfee is performing in 2 weeks at the center. She will include memories from Woodstock.